Just 2 days after Trump called himself an environmentalist, his administration announced a rollback of methane gas emissions regulations so large that even oil companies are objecting to the change.
Here's a summary of the article.
Just 2 days after President Donald Trump called himself an environmentalist, his administration announced a rollback of methane gas emissions regulations so large that even oil companies are objecting to the change. In the proposed rule change, released by the Environmental Protection Agency Thursday morning, the agency would end a federal regulation that requires gas and oil companies to use technology to inspect for and repair methane leaks in their infrastructure. The administration estimates that the rollbacks will save the oil and gas industry $17 to $19 million a year. These companies have already spent significant funds putting technology in place to lower their emissions and even more money convincing the American company that natural gas is a good, clean energy alternative. Lee Fuller, executive vice president of the Independent Petroleum Association of America, told The Times that while it's easier for large companies to deal with federal regulations simply because they have the money to do so, ordinarily, for these small businesses, it's a very different economic impact. But the level field and barriers to entry will now be a bit more even for companies who can't afford large infrastructure or technological changes. The cost of climate change is expected to cost the U.S. about $224 billion more per year by 2090, according to Trump's own EPA. Methane is the second largest contributor to greenhouse gas emissions in the U.S., after carbon dioxide. This is the seventh time the Trump administration has attempted to roll back regulations against oil and gas pollution.
This post received a score of 32,454, with an upvote ratio of 91%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
And all this to save $17 minus $19 million a year. That's nothing essentially. What a stupid move, right? What is that, like 10 Tomahawk missiles? We have thousands of those. This is unbelievable. The cost of getting back what we're about to ruin is easily 1,000x the money to be made here.
1/4 a day of missiles. Sounds like the name of a political metal band.
Punk.
Trump is an environmentalist in precisely the same sense that the Democratic People's Republic of Korea is democratic.
He just wants all the people to die. Which ironically would not be so bad for the planet.
My feel-good explanation for everything that's happening is that he's a time traveler and knows what's coming, and the only way to save us is to fuck everything up in ways that make no sense.
Like how in Independence Day that one guy was like, we got to fuck up the environment, so them aliens don't want it no more.
Can't take over the Earth if there is no Earth to take over. _taps forehead _.
This will be a meme on the front page tomorrow.
To save the industry $17 minus 19 meters a year, and the industry doesn't even want it. This doesn't make sense even from a normal Trump-level corruption standpoint.
Yes. A $150 billion industry. Analysts were saying it is like giving every person in the US .50 to help stimulate the economy. I think the real reason, as always, is the destruction of another Obama program.
50 cents, so kinda like the tax cuts for the middle class, huh? We'd spend more money on the stamps and delivery of it all.
This would all be over if someone tells him Obama can hold his breath for 20 minutes.
Like he'd even try. He just tweet, "I'm the best breath holder. People always tell me I can hold my breath longer than anyone. The best genes make it possible. We tried it last night at Mar-a-Lago and I lasted for 35 minutes. I would have lasted longer but my kofev and hamburgers arrived."
Greater than genes. Yup.
Even if you don't realize that genes is genes misspelled, it still makes sense for a Trump tweet.
Honestly thought he was test-fitting jeans at the Mar-a-Lago.
Does denim creak?
Does when he's in M.
I remember as a child watching Captain Planet and thinking the villains that just wanted to pollute and destroy the Earth were silly. Why would you actively want to destroy the planet you live on? God, how naive was I. Apparently destroying the environment is a multi-billion-dollar industry and incredibly profitable. Captain Planet villains are very real, and Trump is one of them.
In a way, you weren't naive. Sometimes a child's innocence has a profound truth that is unfiltered by the world-weary eyes of an adult. Most of the enlightened business people, Bill Gates and other eco-friendly adults of the world, have some of that innocence along with their adult wisdom, which leads them to be world-conscious. It's the materially selfish ones, who lost that childlike common sense, who are in a way more naive and deluded due to adult short-sightedness.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.